Hi, so I'm back in the polytunnel. It's one of them days. It's got like April showers even though we're in March. I'm sorry I'm leaning like this. Hello, don't turn your camera over, I'm trying to do it up this way. So yes, as I say, it's the, I don't know, 13th of March, Saturday. It might be the 14th, I'm not too sure, but it's around there. I think it is. Anyway, as I say, I'm in the polytunnel because the weather is inclement. It does seem to rain quite a lot. So I'm in the polytunnel potting up and planting up. And here, this is a floating raft bed that goes in my system. And I just thought I'd bring you along to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to pick this one at the back because it's got an extra leaf on, which is quite nice. It's a celery plant. And I'm just going to show you inside. I've split the rock wool. Bring you back into the focus. There we go. I've ripped the rock wool block open. And I've put the little seedling, you see. I did actually germinate it in soil, but I'm going to grow it in the system. So I'm just popping it into the little rock wool block, like that, and then it goes into the hole in the floating raft bed. This is a polystyrene board, as it were. And I've done that with all of them, you see. And there's that one doesn't look very good. So these ones, I don't know why they're not catching the water. I suppose they're not actually reaching down. There we go. I'll squish it down a bit more. And hopefully they'll pick up the water and they will grow a bit better. And in the end there, these are a giant red radish. And I'm also growing them in the system. It's only because there was 2 seeds growing on top, so I popped them in. So that's my floating raft bed done. Just going to move that to one side for you. Just wanted to show you how it was going. I'm going to actually pop it into the bed over here, and I'll bring you over to have a look at it later on. So the other thing I've been planting is I've been doing potting up all my seedlings. So I've done, in this tray, I've done beans and peas. I think they're called baldy beans, and they're like a purple climbing bean. Did you see that? There we go. And I've just, I grew them in like a plug pot to germinate them at home on my windowsill where it's warmer. And then I brought them up here yesterday and I've just potted them on. And there's all different sorts, and there's some climbing beans in there. And then there's peas as well, and there's a couple of sorts of peas. There's a Oregon snow pea and a Ardennes pea, I think it is, and then there's different types of climbing beans. I'm not too sure if these are snake beans or not. I had some beans left over in a packet, so they're in there as well. And I've just literally taken them out of their little plug pot because they were getting too big for it, and put them into, each of them has their own pot in here. So I'm just going to put them to one side for you, but it's just, I thought I'd bring you along and just show you what I'm doing, and I'm not just lazing about. Hanging out in my polytunnel. And these are the same. I've got the peas, as I said, in here, and the beans as well. I'm just going to take one out just so I can show you. There's quite a good root on it. There you go, that. You see that? And as I say, it's just germinated off the seed. This is a pea, and I like early peas because you can actually eat all of this, all of the plant. The pea obviously itself when it produces a pea later on in the year, but the pea tips are really nice. You can I'll show you in a sec. I'll pop that one to one side, but yeah, I've done a full tray of peas and a few beans as well, and then I've got some runner beans I've put in a bit too early, but it doesn't matter. So I've got some runner beans and some all different types of beans. And I'm just going to show you with this one here, because my hands are, I've put gloves on to show you, just to keep my hands a bit cleaner, but I'm going to get that out. I know, they're called pea tops, pea shoots, and they're delicious. So it's just like a pea will, and you can eat the tendril and everything. And that pea plant, where I've bitten that off, will actually bush out from there. So it'll bush out and it'll get bigger and produce more stems. And that's how you pick them. But that's not how you pick them, that's how I graze them. So there we are, that's a pea. And oh, it is absolutely delicious. I grew those peas last year and they were absolutely lovely. I also did tomatoes, and I put a label on the end. Marmade tomatoes and giant tree tomatoes. Let me just show you. And there's a tray of them there. And again, with these, you just pop them in. I'll take one to one side, and I'm actually going to just dig it out a minute. With a tomato like this, just take a little bit of that soil out of that compost out of that pot. Buried something. Damn, hang on a minute. I'm getting a kerfuffle there. There it is. Right, I just wanted to show you. With these tomatoes, it's got quite a long leggy stem on it. But what you can do on it is you can make a deeper hole. So pop your finger in the pot, take it right down, put the whole stem in like that, and you can take it right up to just off like a centimetre away from the top of the plant. And with tomato plants, they can root off that stem. So in a way, it's better. You're making more roots, and the more roots you've got on a plant, the better the plant is. So that's tomatoes done. And in that pot as well, in this tray, there's some yellow bell peppers, and I'll show you. There's a couple in this pot. They've only just really popped up. But there's different ones: bell peppers and sweet banana peppers. And I think there's a couple of jalapenos as well, and they're all in this tray here. So that's another tray done. Tree tomatoes, marmalade, and peppers. So there we go, tray done. I'll put them up on top of this one over here, and I'll have to go and find a spot for them. And then, because I had lots of those other tomatoes, oh, those ones over there are stew pice as well. So there's another tray of marmalade. Again, each one's got a flower pot of its own. They've all come out of a small pot and they've all gone into a bigger pot. And there's a full tray of them as well. And I just thought that you might like to see, not potting them on because I've already potted them up, but what I was doing and what I was growing in my polytunnel. So there we are. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm growing in my polytunnel. And that's potting up seedlings. So they come out of, let me take you to something that we can show you where there's some seedlings. So I grow them in a seed tray, or a tray where, there you go, I've got kohlrabi in this tub here. They're getting a bit leggy, so these are going to have to go in. You see them there? And I just pop them out of the little pot that they're in, like that. Let me just see if we can pull that out. There we go, and it's got a huge long root on it, you see? And then I'm actually putting these back because I want to grow these out a little bit, and then once they're a little bit bigger, they can go out in the ground and cover them over, because kohlrabi is delicious and it's one of my favourite veg. So, yes, but I normally pop them out, so I pull them out of one of them and I put them into a flower pot like this one here. This is actually for a friend of mine. There's 2 tomatoes and a bell pepper in there, and it's for them when we've come out of lockdown. And we can see our friends again. That'd be nice. So I can give them some peppers and some tomatoes. These are ones that I potted up yesterday. They're tigerelle tomatoes and pink king, and there's some called stew pice as well. These are the celery that I did up, and the mustards into the floating raft bed. There's a little duck over there, as you can see. And these are kohlrabi that I've also put into the system. It's more just a trial run to see. The tomatoes are here. The strawberries are in here as well. And these are cuttings off my lemon tree. Some of them I think are growing and some of them I think are dead. There we are. The little duck, I was going to say, is a thermometer. There was a choice of a floating whale or a floating duck, and I went with the duckling because I thought it wouldn't scare the fish quite as much as a whale would. I don't know whether that's the point or not. Oh, there we are. Anyway, so yeah, all I've been doing is potting up seedlings today in the polytunnel. and I've got lots of trays of them, and I'm going to go and stack them on top of the bathtubs for now. And then at some point, once it's warmed up a bit, I'll pop them on a bit more, and then some will go outside, some will go into the media beds. I want to put all my, I've got some melons at home as well, so I want to put all my melons and cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, a lot of them I want to put into the system to go into the media beds, because the roots of those plants can absorb a lot of the nitrates as they're being broken down in the actual media bed, and they've just got a stronger root system. And it'll be a good experiment to see if I can get them to grow in the media beds this year. I'm pretty sure I can. And then in the actual floating raft beds will eventually be a whole load of lettuce and leafy greens and salad, and that's the whole idea of building this system. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to turn it on next week. Ooh, exciting! But we'll have to wait and see. The batteries are now charging, which is fantastic, and we're getting lots of sunny and rainy weather. My ponds are all filling up, so things are coming on. My double cloche is still here, and it's got my calamansi and my orange and not orange, lemon, lime, moringa trees, all different things growing in there. So I just wanted to bring you along, show you what I was doing, do a little catch up, say hi, hope everyone's well. Still got some celery coming up here, little fans are all whizzing away, all the way around the polytunnel, all the bubblers are going, so that's nice to see. Like I say, I hope everyone's well. Take care everyone, stay safe, cheers.